Authority. Please let the record show that all commissioners are present with the exception of General Williams, Commissioner Williams. So at this time, is there any roll call? Is there a motion for approval of the minutes that were sent out for the March meeting?
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Lowe, thank you.
I second.
Commissioner Butcher seconds. Any discussion, questions, or recommendations for amendments or anything? If not, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Unanimously approved. At this time, we'll entertain any old business to come before the board. You got anything? There being none, we'll move on to our new business, and I'll turn it over to our Chief Executive, Mr. McGinnis, to go through the agenda with the staff.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for being here. We're going to go ahead and get started with financial services. Teresa?
All right. Good afternoon. Our first item is to ask the board to act on a resolution approving the project-based low-rent public housing operating budget for the calendar year ending December 31st, 2024. The HHA Board of Commissioners approved Board Resolution Number 2024-05 for fiscal year end 3/31/25. HHA was granted a change in fiscal year from March 31st to December 31st to allow the PHA to utilize the same fiscal year date and audit engagement for clients by HUD on March 13th, 2024. The purpose of this request is to obtain approval for the calendar year ending 12/31/2024 9-month budget. This is a HUD requirement. The revised budget reflects a net decrease in unrestricted net position of $830,111.88. Attached is the combined budget for COCC and low rent, and this is resolution number 2024-10. All I did was I took the approved original budget and divided by 12, took it by 9 to do a proration for 9 months. So we are truly excited because this will put all of our reporting entities under one fiscal year. So what is also going to happen is we're closing our books for 3/31/2024. We will have an audit, and that will be presented to you in August. We will then close books again 12/31/2024 with another presentation beginning January 1st, 2025 of our fiscal year. So we're definitely excited, and so this is why we brought the budget back to you to approve the 9-month instead of the 12-month. So resolution 2024-10.
All right. Do you foresee any other challenges out there from making this transition? I think at this point, you feel like things are...
Oh, it's going to be a challenge all year.
I'm sure.
We've had to contact our software vendor to make that change also, so we're going to incur a cost for that. It's going to be a new process. Rent collection may be a challenge because they will need to meet their goal in December, and that's a month that it usually slows down with rent collection, but we've already put things in place to meet our goal every month, so we're not faced with that challenge. But yes, sir, it's something.
Stuff popping up all the time throughout that period, I'm sure.
That's the housing authority.
But once you get through the process, it'll make a big difference. It'll be nice to be on the calendar.
And just for clarification, there's no other, there's nothing else on a March, everything now is on the December calendar budget?
For this year, will be December 12/31/2024. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I mean, so we're correcting one that, I guess I'm confused again.
Okay, don't be confused.
No, that's fine. So what, are there any other agencies that require a March 31st? So that's what we have now. There's a March 31st fiscal year that's offset. And so this is resetting us to a calendar fiscal year.
Correct. Your year ends for housing can be 3/31, 6/30, 9/30, and 12/31.
Okay.
They offer 4. We've been on this March 31st for years, but with us having tax credit properties, 360 and Gateway, it only makes sense for us to all be on the same reporting year, ending at 12/31. Because technically, the accounting department goes through audit for almost 9 months, because you have the entity ends 12/31, which we carry that to 3/31. I'm still not done with 12/31. Then we go 3/31, and then we go all the way through August until they come and present. Next year, we will all be under the same reporting entity at that time. So HUD allows us to shorten our year to be able to roll forward. And so those also, HUD has to change everything within HUD systems, our drawdowns, our CMAP, all of that. It's a big change overall, but once we get there, we'll be there.
For the foreseeable future, it's not just 2025,
Yes, it's
everything's
for-
lined up on 12/31 now.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, or discussion? Is there a motion for approval?
I motion to approve the prorated budget to end on 12/31/24.
Thank you, Commissioner Cratchit.
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Willie. Anything else? Discussion, questions? Being none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved, thank you.
All right.
Resolution approved.
Okay. So my next item was, and I'm going to go ahead and strike that one because it doesn't have the correct, I'll bring this one back to you. Because what I was trying to do in this one was to change our audit for Clifton Larson Allen to be at 3/31/2025. So I need the audit to be for 12/31/2024. But my RDA is a repeat of what I presented before. So let's strike that one, and I'll just bring that back to you next month. Okay? I do apologize for that.
Right, item number 2. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Strike that one.
Can we not be efficient and just make a motion to approve with the pending modification?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine. I would appreciate it. It's 2024-11. It's what I bought you before, and so.
I mean, it's pretty simple.
Right.
But I would like to make the suggestion that we just make a motion to approve it with the understanding that there'll be a modification for the date. Can we do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Mr. Lowe, second. Any questions, discussion? If not, all those please say aye that are in favor of the resolution.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much.
Got through.
So I want to see you come back. I appreciate that. So the next item, yay, it's legal. We have an attorney. So anyway, we're excited. On February 8, 2024, the Huntsville Housing Authority issued a RFP number 2024-01 for the procurement of professional legal services. This RFP was issued as the current contract for legal services is due to expire. The purpose of this action is to hire a firm to provide a wide range of legal services to HHA and its Board of Commissioners. HHA accepted proposals that were submitted on the March 21st, 2024 deadline. 2 responses were received. Lanier Ford Shaver and Payne PC was deemed as the most responsive bidder through the evaluation process. 2 responses were received, and the evaluation results are listed below. So as we can see, Lanier Ford Shaver and Payne had a total points of 94. Fox Rothschild was 80. The economic impact is as follows. Fees for the legal services fee will be accumulated on an hourly basis of the $185 principal, $250 partner with less than 20 years experience, and $200 associates, and $105 for the paralegal. So this is resolution number 2024-12 that we are seeking approval for us to be able to have legal representation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is this something is it every 3 years?
Every 3
we do
years is
this?
legal. Yes, sir.
That was my question, is the duration.
Yep.
Yes, 3 years for legal.
And just curious, I know we extended the deadline, tried to get some more participation. Were there many inquiries and then people just decided not to?
We only had one inquiry where somebody wanted to know if they had to be a practicing attorney and are relocated in Huntsville. as long as you're licensed, I think that's what
Right.
you said, that they would be able to, but we didn't receive anything else from anybody else. That was the only question we got.
Very good. Any other questions?
I just don't understand why that top score wasn't 100.
Some work on that. I can't figure that out
Get it
either.
together.
Ashley never made a grade that low. No, we appreciate your service and
Yeah.
feel good about continuing to work with you and your new firm. Anybody got anything else? I'll entertain a motion for approval of the resolution as presented.
Motion to approve resolution 2024-12.
Thank you, Commissioner Miller. I believe you served on the committee. Good. Thank you. Motion carries a lot of clout. Is there a
I was
second?
excited to say it.
I'll second.
I know you did a lot of work.
Yes.
Commissioner Lowe seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Yeah, those proposals are pretty voluminous usually. A lot of filler. Gotta be comprehensive. All right.
All right.
You got another,
And my last item is the presentation of cumulative low-income housing finance report for the period ending February 29, 2024. I did not provide any detailed explanations. I just brought the revision to you, and the line items seem to be lining up within the budget overall. Our net loss, or our net decrease in unrestricted position on page 26 is $759,388. So of course, it's now March, and we are looking to be, of course, our hope is to be below the decrease that was budgeted. But overall, all the items seem to be within, overall, each line item is within the budgeted 10% variance. But if you had any questions about anything in particular, I can't answer those, any line item.
everybody got anything?
All right.
Very good, thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you.
Next up.
All right, thank you, Teresa. Next is Turkisa. She's gonna be going over some real estate development.
Good afternoon. So I am bringing a request to the board to act on a resolution authorizing the executive director, CEO, contracting officer to submit a Section 18 demolition and disposition application to the Special Application Center for HUD. And we're bringing address 903 Garrison, and that's in Lincoln Park. So the Huntsville Housing Authority requests board approval to submit an application to HUD for demo dispo. And we're seeking to dispose of units A, B, and C at 903 Garrison in Lincoln Park. This property has been determined to be a casualty loss, and to give the definition of which category the casualty loss explains. All of the units experienced substantial damage to both interior and exterior due to a fire. So the purpose and objective is to eliminate blight, remove a physical obsolescence, and dispose of any potential health and safety factors. The justification is the Special Application Center mandates us bring a board approval, submit a board approval with the application. In your attachments, you will find environmental review from the city, and then you will also find the fire report. The recommendation is that the executive director, CEO, contracting officer approves this resolution to be able to submit an application for 903 Garrison in the disposition and demo approval process.
So this is 3 units, 1 building,
Yes.
and how much property, I mean, I know it's not very dense over there. Does this incorporate access a lot of property with it, or is it right between two other buildings, or?
It is right between two other buildings. Its footprint isn't any larger than any other of the buildings there, if that's,
Yeah, I was just curious if it was like on the end, there was a bunch of green space, because thinking of down the road about replacement to build, I don't know if it's in the middle.
you can't build there.
We won't be able to come back
It's in the
then.
floodway.
Oh, that's right. All the properties in the floodway, I always forget.
Either in the floodplain or floodway. If it's in the floodway, you cannot build. If it's in the floodplain, you have some options, but this is in the floodway, so.
So we're losing 3 apartments. It looked like all 3 bedrooms, or was there?
So I don't know the bedroom size. Tara, can you help me with what those bedroom sizes are?
They're not all 3 bedrooms.
I think it's a 3, a 2, and a 2.
Yeah, I saw one was 3. There's just so much, y'all really provided us with a lot of information. I didn't break that down when I was looking through it, but it makes sense to. But the only other question I had before other commissioners made, I thought our property deductible was 25,000 now,
Oh, it is.
and this is showing a 10,000.
It was, we changed 25 last year.
Okay, so
When the
that's.
fire occurred, it was
Fire
10.
10,000,
Okay,
right.
that makes sense, that's
And
what.
and then the insurance payout for that building, I believe it was 81,000 that we received this year. That's in other income, so we got $81,000 for that.
Are those funds restricted? I mean, what can we use the insurance proceeds for?
I was really hoping we could use it to demo it, but couldn't demo it. So, yes, it's restricted. It's restricted cash.
It has to go back into building housing.
Yes, sir.
So once the demolition happens, it's just going to be top dressed and going to be just a green space at that point?
Put a basketball court.
So we've heard a few other, we've heard a garden. We're also working on a grant, Section 3, to do some community gardens. So we've heard from some residents in Lincoln when we did the neighborhood meeting for this process. And that was one of the things that they suggested. They suggested a playground. So you had a gamut of ideas of what that space could be used for.
Is it on the east side or the west side of Washington Street?
West.
Okay. Oh, we were by the creek.
Yeah, it's just across, it's on the west side of Garrison Street, which the creek is on the east side of Garrison.
Right. Thank you. Everybody got any other questions? Is there a motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Lowe,
I'll second.
Mr. Crutcher, second. Anything else? Not, all those in favor of the resolution as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Coleman. Nice to meet you.
All right.
Ready to do the CEO, Executive Director's report?
Yeah, before I get started, I was told that there were 2 ladies that didn't want to get called out. So I'm going to do exactly that and call them out and ask them to introduce themselves. They were Leadership Connect. They're actually team members of, class members of Jacqueline. She's going through Leadership Connect right now. Just, if you would just say your name and what company you work with.
My name is Amy Jeanette Walker. I'm with AMCOM. Alex Mara Bank.
Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate y'all being here. And next time you come, we won't call you out. All right.
Thank you for being here. Welcome.
I want to talk about a couple things. One being Tupelo Flats. We had intense conversation on project-based vouchers going to a certain part of the city. And, we just kind of went back and forth on the timing of that and seeing if that was in the right place. And we've decided to work with the developer and not move forward with that development. What we are going to do is use those project-based vouchers and add them to our other sites that we already have under construction. One being Monrovia Flats. We're going to add 19 units strictly for seniors, 62 and up. And then the other development, which is the Dry Creek property out on 53, we're gonna do 39 for 62 and above as well. So what we're gonna do is just kind of restructure it and have something strictly for those elderly community. And I think it's a good compromise, being that we will still get affordable housing, but we also kind of get a home run because we're providing housing for our elderly population as well. So if you're not familiar with what's going on in the Dry Creek area, they're actually doing a Crestwood Hospital out that way. They have a grocery store, and they're going to have services. They have to provide certain services to that area. So that's something that we're working on. Anybody got any questions on that?
Can you remind me what Tupelo?
Tupelo was going to be an 80-unit project-based voucher development out toward the Hampton Cove area.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And the Elmington Capital was the developer, and they're also the developer of Monrovia Flats
And Dry Creek.
So it worked out good for them as well.
Yep.
But I'll have to say, CEO did a really good job. It was a sensitive situation. I was in the meeting, and the developer was not happy, and it kind of taken on a life and gone down the road. And Mr. McGinnis was able to really turn lemons to lemonade for everybody and work out a compromise. And I think the mayor and the city really appreciated that as well.
I think it's a win. I think it's a major win. I would love to just have an opportunity to learn more about promotion and then soft services when you target that population. You know, we've spoken, and I love the fact that you up that age threshold. I think that's significant.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the project-based voucher requirements for that. A lot of our developments, we do 55 and above, and we also consider disability. But even when we do the CNI grant, we're going to have a separate building for disability and 55. Because again, in this building right here, we have a 19-year-old staying over in that building. So it just makes sense to make sure that we do have it segregated where it's 62 and above, so that they can have their own unique experience while they're living with us. So that's something that we're intentionally trying to do in places that we can do it.
Are there any public relations efforts around that? I know I think we have an opportunity to get ahead of something that's so positive.
Well, I've asked them to make sure that they have another ribbon cutting. And so with that ribbon cutting, it'll give us an opportunity to have some PR behind that. Any other? Last Monday, our executive team had an opportunity to have a 3-hour training on trying to develop some core values for the agency. It's something that we haven't done before, and I think as we move into the future and continue to do the service that we do, we have values. I just think that everybody needs to operate on a set of values that not only the executive team can operate from, but everybody who comes in the organization. And so we're at the beginning stages of making this public to our staff, but what we've come up with is, and these are not in any particular order, but one is safety and well-being. It says the safety and well-being of our residents and employees is our #1 priority. And that's something that everybody needs to understand as we intentionally operate in the community. The second one being, and again, not in any particular order, is we promote self-sufficiency for our residents through innovative partnerships and family-based programming. We have so many partners that we partner with, but we want to be intentional on how we promote self-sufficiency, because again, I just feel like as a unit and as a team, we want to promote self-sufficiency, but we have to be intentional even in how we do that with the partners that we have at the table. And I think everybody needs to know exactly what that looks like. Self-sufficiency for everybody is not going to look the same, but if we have a goal of making sure that people are self-sufficient based on what they would like to see, then we can achieve that goal. The third one is we encourage and foster employee growth and development. We've had a lot of people who started in entry-level positions here at the agency who are now going up and now leading departments, and we want to make sure that other folks understand that there's opportunity, especially in a city like this where there are jobs all over the place. We want to be intentional about. And the last one, but I don't think this is, like I said, in any order, but we want to lead with intentional integrity in all our interactions, whether that be with a resident, with a coworker. We want our staff to be intentional when they get to operate in this space that we're in. There's a lot of changes that's happening in HUD. I was just at a meeting yesterday in Birmingham where they're changing a lot of their systems. And the one thing that they said is just be prepared for the changes. Be prepared for really more to do. And so as we deal with integrity, we want to make sure that all our people understand what that looks like. And so we'll be sharing that. Might get some t-shirts made, flyers, whatever, put them out and make sure that we start operating with those 4 things in mind. And I think that's going to take us to a whole nother level as an organization. Any questions on that one? Comments? You all received the final copy of the strategic plan. This is going to go on our website. We're not going to print a lot of these, but I figure for the board members and some of our staff members, they'll have these when they go and speak in the community. It will help us with our blueprint as we go throughout the community. We've narrowed it down to a few pages. We didn't want to necessarily tell the community how we were going to do it, but what we were going to do. And so this kind of tells the what. And again, we'll look at, updating this in a few years, but with everything that we have going on right now with our choice neighborhood, which we should hear something about here pretty soon. We have in our 5-year capital plan to renovate and update Cersei homes. So we have a lot of items in the fire right now, and this can keep us on the straight and narrow path to get to the results that we want to get to. So I'm excited about this, and hopefully this will be a great tool for us as we go into the future over the next few years. We also have our compliance review. We got a letter yesterday that says that, on the letter says, here we come. Actually, HUD is coming to Huntsville June the 24th through the 28th. So if you have time, please mark that on your schedule, because I know they're going to meet with board members. They're going to come in and really check our oil. And they're going to check everything from customer complaints to procurement to board meetings and how we are actually promoting policy. One of the things that stuck out yesterday, we have policy. They want to make sure that we're carrying out the policies that we have in place. Because if we're not following our own policies, what good is that for us to even have them? So they'll be here for a whole week. And, it's unfortunate that some people get fearful of a compliance review, but I hope that we can embrace it and see what we actually are doing and what we can do better as an agency, because this would be a great opportunity for us to do that. And that's it.
Good, very good. I agree with that philosophy. Thank you for taking on that attitude.
Mr. McGinnis, I may have missed it, but that visit in June, is that in response to the CNI application? Is that the?
It's just, HUD is, especially since coming out of COVID, their national is making sure that the
So
local.
if there is a CNI visit, it will be in addition to?
It'll be in
this visit,
addition,
not in
yeah,
lieu of, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
This is something that the field officers are doing. They got 6 organizations and we are one of those
So
6.
potentially there could be a lot of activity in June and not just that week,
Right.
because that CNI visit.
June,
will be
July,
around that,
August,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
That's the time frame for, I guess essentially we'd be a finalist or be under consideration if they do a site visit.
Yeah. And I really think we will be
In that consideration.
in that consideration, especially with the addition of a hospital coming on and adding 125 units. So I think we will.
Is there anything we could do preemptively as a board? I'll be out of the country that week that they're coming. Is there anything that you would advise that we could prepare preemptively as a board?
I think we just got to make sure Mr. Fountain's here.
I've been out of the
Because
country.
I think they're going to definitely make sure that you're here, and I'm sure they'll probably ask for other board members, but for those who can be here, just be available.
Of course, being around as long as I have, I've been through one of these before, and done the interview and everything.
Okay.
They basically, for board members, just ask a lot about our board meetings, you know, they're conducted regularly and all that. So, very good. Has anybody signed up for public comments today? No public comments. Comments by commissioners. Commissioner Cratcher, do you have anything today?
I don't think I have any comments. I just really appreciate the update that we were able to have recently. Just was able to sit down with Mr. McGinnis and hear his heart and his vision. And as I articulated to Commissioner Fountain earlier, I think when you have a good balance of passion and strategic initiative, it's just something beautiful to be able to be a part of and behold. And so I can see where some of that passion and strategy are converging. And it sparks more questions for me because I'm so new in this space. And I just hope that they'll be healthy and productive questioning and never be received as critical. It's just you creating that type of space that solicits that type of response. And so just want to give that.
Thank you. Commissioner, just going to ask about CNI, but you gave us a good scoping update, so it's all good.
Good.
I know one of the things that we can,
Really, excuse me.
we used to always talk about the communication. So whoever is doing the communication on social media, I'm excited to see it. I stay in the loop of everything. I love the event that y'all had. I think it was baseball, kickball. Yeah, so I love whoever runs social media for the Huntsville Housing Authority because I stay in the loop of everything now. So kudos to that and welcome.
Very good, appreciate it. We really got through the meeting efficiently today. This is barely after 12:30, so it's going to take a little bit of time here to talk about some of the special events we've had in the community. I'll blindside Mr. Whitlow back there and give him some kudos and give him an opportunity to talk about a program we've got going out at Calvary Hills. He's got going, and our his volunteers and staff for basketball. But it's much more than basketball. He'll explain the mentorship and tutoring and everything goes with it. But I appreciate it so much. I've had a couple of guys, one from Cersei Homes and one from L.R. Patton, right over here, that have just really enjoyed it, and it's got quite a crew out there. Can you just give us some cliff notes, just real quick?
Yes, sir. Program is Huntsville Housing Authority Youth Basketball and Education Initiative. Of course, it was initially started in November, searching for a second team. As a result, we went from 4 to probably about 20 active youth, young men, from pretty much all of our sites except for a few scattered sites, primarily Northwoods, L.R. Patton, Cersei Homes, we have Butler Terrace, and then we have one that we're working on that's going to probably from Lincoln Park. So what we did was, because a lot of the kids in our community, they struggle academically, but they really want to be involved in sports. So we've partnered with NACI on the academic side. We've partnered also with Man Up, which is a young adult men, productive citizenship. They're out of Alabama A&M. And we also partnered with a few other, the semi-pro team in terms of sportsmanship, academics, and also skill set. And so what has happened is, as a result, it's really growing. They are learning how to, act business acumen, ties, the whole nine. And as a result of that, now we have other housing authorities that we played against. The Boss Youth League. It's actually an inner city nonprofit out in Montgomery. Tuskegee has reached out. Follow Housing Authority, Auburn Housing. We have probably about 5, and so now the buzz is out, and also partnered with the City of Huntsville, Coach Hulu, with Ms. Johnson. So in essence, it's just growing. So now our big thing is to get all the boys involved, and now the parents are now really. We had about 200 people come out. It's our first one. It was pretty amazing. And then, I mean, it just was a great outcome. And kudos to the finance for helping us with the funds. A little bit, that expertise helped. But most of it was really sponsored from the community and for all of our partners. So as a result, we're just looking to kind of expand it. The kids want to do sports, but they have to be involved in now community services on the next piece. So we'll keep you informed. Shout out to Jacqueline for being there and helping us and navigate that space. So it's growing. I think we're going to be out the walls probably by the fall. It's probably going to double after the summer. So we've got to really look at some other things. So I know we have the summer basketball league, but our goal is really to make them well-rounded citizens, and the parents are loving it. So we have more parent involvement and the academic piece. So that's my thing. You know, they can't play anywhere if those grades are not right. And then teaching them sportsmanship and manners matter. So
Yeah.
that's what we are.
Thank you.
all to everybody for your support. Of course, Mr. McGinnis came out and saw it for himself. So let's go. So thank you.
We appreciate it. That's a tough population to engage, teenage young men, and we've worked at it for years, and basketball seems to be the biggest hook out there. They really want to play ball, and we have, the public housing basketball tournament in January, and then summer league, and then Boys and Girls Club runs the Metro League, to where we have recreation basketball, because I always say a high school team or even a middle school team, they pick the best 10 or 12 players in the school, and then kids that desperately want to play, there's nowhere to play. They don't have an opportunity. They want that uniform. They want that experience of competing in basketball. So thank you for getting outside the box and making that happen.
And the other thing too that's been interesting is that we now have so many young girls that want to be involved. So we're looking at some young lady organizations. So we'll be keeping you on that, because they pile in there too, but they want to kind of do their own thing. So we're working, of course, these young ladies and college students and everything like that. So we're looking at collaboration with HHA. So more to come.
Good deal. Thank you. I hope everybody's had a chance to go by Cersei Homes after the beautification project group at Twickenham Hightower Investments in honor of W.F. Sanders, who was one of our most prominent, long-standing community leaders. He passed away. He was a principal in that firm, and they held a beautification serve day over there Saturday before last, and it was amazing. I mean, they bought some really nice azaleas and hydrangeas, beautiful plants, and put up a new sign for the Boy Scouts, which is just really uplifted the community over there. And along with that, some of the activities at Cersei, they've had these cooking classes that Housing Authority brought to the table. Mr. McGinnis did with in partnership with Huntsville Hospital, and of course having Shelley Mitchell, a super volunteer on the ground over there. I mean, it was amazing to see. We had like 15 ladies every week that came and bonded, and they just finished that. Now they're going out to a dinner and talking about continuing to do that, provided child care while the classes were going on. So that's really been good. Continuing on the sports thing, we had the first round of t-ball and baseball this week, and there's not a lot of baseball. Every community in the country, from Major League Baseball down, is trying to emphasize baseball for inner city and minority kids, and we had a huge turnout yesterday. We played Cersei Homes, primarily our team, with a couple of kids from Butler Terrace, but we played out at the Shower Center against Lakewood, and there were so many parents and so much excitement. I went to the wrong field, which worked out good. I went to Calvert Hills, and they had 3 games going there, and the crowd, and it's just really gratifying to see the volunteers come together. Boys and Girls Club partnering with City Parks and Rec, and then having run the Metro League, which is the inner city league that all of our housing areas are in. So a lot going on. I'm sure that just scratched the surface. I know Legacy Center's got a lot of new programs coming, and we're out there trying to serve the community and help these families, and it's especially the youth and children. You got anything to add to that? I probably missed something.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, in the spirit of what's going on in the community, I guess it was about 4 months ago, we applied for a grant through the Community Foundation. And I'll let Quinn talk about it. The folks who are graduating from the partnership with Drake State, share that with us about 45 seconds.
I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. So we received a $50,000 grant from the Community Foundation to do a child care development program. So we used public housing residents, Section 8 participants, and some people just around the community to start the first cohort of 15. So 2 of them were pursuing their GED, and the other 2 were able to enroll into the program. Well, the other group, I guess, 13. So we're almost done. So the program is set up essentially for them to receive their child care short certificate from Drake State. So we pay for that. We provide small business classes. We provided laptops. We gave them stipends. We just finished a small business class last week. If I could really just go into detail about the kind of ideas the people at the Catalyst Center were blown away. All 13 of the people that attended have some kind of unique thing that they want to bring to the child care space. Within us receiving that $50,000 grant, the YMCA, I guess, submitted a similar grant, but we kind of filled some of the spaces that they left blank, like they didn't know where they were getting their certificates from, they didn't know where they were getting their people from. So we were asked to merge it together. So what has ended up happening is, so we get to use their funds as well. So this $50,000 program turned into a $100,000 program. So this is the last month for the first cohort as far as their classes is concerned. And then they go to CNI Solutions